actually unbelievable just how many windmills there are around this area, as far as the eye can see. It just stops at a roadworks traffic light, but you can see way off into the distance just acres and acres and acres and acres and acres of windmills. Unbelievable. Well, here we are at Inks Lake State Park. This is the lot that you get for $23 a day, and this is a hookup. There is hydro, there is water. Now, the only downside that I've seen so far is that you have to go to a pump out station. They leave you a very, very handy pet hook so that you can hook your line on for your pet so they don't get tangled. They have some running room and that kind of stuff. But yes, it's very pleasant weather, surrounded by some interesting exotics here. Yeah, you don't want to fall into that. Now, the lots are fairly close together, there's no doubt about it, but if any of you who've done any traveling like this have been to an RV park, you will know how close together everyone is packed in. It's like sardines. Now, this is Inks Lake, and this is a lake that is off, it's almost like a kind of tributary to the Colorado River, and you can see how far the lake levels are down now. I don't know if this is normal for this time of year, but it seems to have been a bit of a pattern all the way down. A lot of dryness, but to have this much moisture alone in Texas is unbelievable. There are many water problems up where I was in Post before here, but yes, it's a very different terrain. That'll blind you with the sun there. But yeah, these parks are well run. It's safe. There is oh, look at that. Is that a harvest moon up there? All the amenities, although I haven't seen any laundry, but there is usually a town pretty close by where you can pick up a laundromat. So yeah, I can highly recommend for the price. This is absolutely excellent. And yes, because it's going to be interesting. Boondocking might not be quite so safe with the government on strike and the EBT and SNAP benefits being cut off. I'll tell you one thing I can't help noticing as I ride around. I don't know whether it's because people who take vacations are more well off, or people who are retired have money and take vacations, but I'll tell you, there's no junk in here. My motorhome is probably the oldest motorhome around, although I did see a converted school bus. But yeah, the vehicles, the cars, the rigs, and same when driving the highways. You know, I haven't seen too many junkers. Now it'll be interesting to kind of follow up on that a little bit on why that is, whether people are just manufacturers are making cars that just basically collapse at the end of their life, and when they do, they just go down and that's it, you never see them again, and they're not worth trying to renovate, or whether it is people are just caught up on the leasing cycle. Anyway, like I say, they all look like that. Nice, neat and tidy and clean, and or maybe Texas is just a prosperous state, because camping actually, as I said, is it's a cheap way to live. You know, once you've paid for your rig, you've got your mobile home there. I can live off my pension and do this, no problem at all. And there she is, my baby girl. She's settling into the lifestyle, and she seems pretty happy, and so am I. There you go, little display of aircraft. Burnett Airport. Tanks and different generations. Different generations. Too bad. There is a museum here, an aviation museum, which is unfortunately closed. I would love to see some of the exhibits in there. Well, I have no idea who owns that castle down there, or that castle of a house, but you come round the corner and there it is. Huge. Once you get around that corner, you can't see it anymore because you start going downhill and all the trees are in the way. Anyway, don't know what it is, but it sure is pretty countryside. And it's hot. As you can see, clear blue sky. Little haze over in the distance there. But yes, the weather is just perfect. So this is the Devil's Waterhole. Beautiful. And you know, that red stuff, that red clay, they call that mud rock. And I'm wondering if there was a mud flood here at one time. Well, there must have been. But it looks like it has been actually baked. You can see where the water line normally is and how low the water levels are here, but it is just beautiful. This is 7:30 in the morning. It's around about 18 degrees. The dog just can't keep out of the water, so she's loving it. And this is the best time to go for a walk because it's still a little bit cool. Yeah, lots of rock climbing. Absolutely gorgeous. Jazz is in her element. She's just been for a swim, and now she's looking for squirrels. But look at that. Look at that view. Very different from snowy Ontario. Yes, I heard you had a little dusting of snow the other day. So I won't make you too jealous. So this is Fredericksburg, and this is a German-based town. I guess the founders must have been German, but all of the street names are in German names, and but yeah, I just love the way they have retained some of the natural building features in this town. Typical southwestern Texas building, but yeah, they've used the sandstone and the limestone to its best effect, and they have maintained their individuality, which is something that we're kind of losing up in Canada, unfortunately. But this is a town of wineries. This valley here is incredibly fertile, and as you drive in, all you can see are peach orchards, apple orchards, vineyards, wine tasting, you name it. And this is just one example, the Fredericksburg Winery. Anyway, they've got the weather for it, and if this is what it's like in November, wow, be interesting to see what it's like in January. This is a beautiful old public library, and yeah, reminds me in many ways of Bob Cajun with all its limestone. But these trees here, these gnarled old trees, these are pecan nut trees. They're all over the place here, and they're just starting to drop their nuts, and jolly nice they are too. Across the road is the marketplace. There's a farmers market there on Thursdays. So yes, this is very rural, very beautiful. The town is spotless. But again, take a look at the cars going past. There are no old vehicles. They all look like they're within 2-3 years old. And I don't know whether it's because they're all leased or what is going on, but well, I actually kind of feel ashamed to drive my old rust bucket around. Okay, so we're in the butterfly garden, and this is specifically designed to attract monarchs. And oh look, there you go, there's some monarchs right there. We are in southwestern Texas, and virtually on the Mexican border. And yes, I'm here for a few days until I continue on down to Port Isabel. But yes, very different plant life down here. The ground is very unforgiving, it's unbelievably dry. I'm going to show you some footage in a second over by the boat launch to give you an idea of just how low the water is. Now this little garden here it has hoses, and it is watered on a regular basis, which is why it looks so lush. But by and large, every plant, every tree, every shrub, not many trees you see here are designed to stay alive in the driest of dry conditions. And you'll see that just about everything has spines or thorns or something to protect that moisture that's gathered from the soil. Tiny flowers. So everything is designed to basically hoard moisture as best that it can. And I know that we've had they actually say it's been a wet year in Texas this year, but like I say, look at the thorns on that. Very unpalatable, but there will be some animal that have learned how to get past those thorns. Maybe just eats the nice tender tips of the plant to survive. But this is like a little oasis in here, so there are many living things attracted to this area. This is on the trail itself, and again you can see what a harsh environment this is. Look at that. I wouldn't like to have to try and survive out here without water. My goodness. It would be a tough go finding stuff to eat. There are rabbits, there are deer, I've seen both, but they're quick. Everything has thorns on it. Everything protects the moisture that it's gathered itself fiercely. And of course, when you remove some of that moisture, there's no butterflies out here, no monarchs out here. Okay, so here is where the the launch pad is for the boats. Now I don't know whether that one at the top there has always been there, but this is the lowest point. This is where the boat ramp runs out, and it's been dry enough here long enough to let these trees grow in. So I would say that overall they've had a dry few years down here in the southwestern Texas, and you can get an idea by where that boat ramp is to the ground how far the lake levels are down. I would say they're down a good 15, maybe 20 feet from where they have been in the past historically. There you go, warning. Crossing into Mexico could be dangerous. Report criminal or suspicious activity by calling to the Powder Sheriff's Office. There we go. There's the lake over in the distance. And one side of the lake is in Mexico, and the other side of the lake is in Texas. Well, there's no doubt about it, there's some pretty big fish in that lake. I believe those are catfish spines. So there you go. I bet you that's about a 20 or 30 pound fish right there. Now that, I believe, is a falcon. Certainly not an osprey. Well, as you can see, it's quite a big lake. And there's my water dog. You just can't keep her out of the water. Look at that face. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful morning. There's the guys over there heading out fishing on the lake. But you can see by the opposite side there how low the water levels are. Yeah, I keep pointing that out because things are most definitely changing. Most of North America, as I've driven down, has been gripped in dry weather. So it'll be interesting to see what this winter brings. Yep, you can definitely see once you get down to southwestern Texas, there is a complete change of scenery. Different style of building. So many things are just bleached by the sun and the wind. Hot and dry. And there you go, palm trees. We've arrived, honey. We've arrived.